The planet beneath the fog. Somewhere far beyond the known edges of explored space lies a planet unlike any other discovered by humanity. A world that sunlight barely touches. A world hidden beneath an endless ocean of fog. This planet is called Noxara. From orbit, Noxara appears strangely quiet, a pale sphere wrapped completely with thick atmospheric clouds. No continents can be clearly seen. No oceans reflect the light of its distant star. Instead, the entire surface is concealed beneath layers of dense silver mist, slowly drifting across the planet like a silent storm. For centuries, worlds like this have existed only in theory. But today, for the first time in human history, a lone astronaut is about to descend through the fog and witness the surface of Noxara. As the spacecraft begins its descent, the clouds grow thicker with every passing second. Sensors struggle to penetrate the dense atmosphere. Visibility outside the ship quickly drops to almost nothing. The engines glow softly as the craft pushes downward through swirling layers of vapor. Outside the cockpit window, there is only fog. The clouds of Noxara are unlike those of Earth. They are heavier, thicker, almost liquid in the way they move. Massive rolling currents of mist drift through the atmosphere like slow underwater tides. The spacecraft disappears inside this endless cloud sea as it continues its descent toward the unknown. Then, suddenly, the fog begins to thin. The ship breaks through the lowest cloud layer, and for the first time, the surface of Noxara becomes visible. Below lies a dark volcanic landscape. Endless plains of black basalt stretch toward the horizon. The ground glistens with condensation, and shallow pools of mineral water reflect the dim gray sky above. But the most striking feature of this world is not the rock or the sky. It is the fog. Thick waves of silver mist flow across the planet's surface like a silent ocean. The fog drifts slowly across the volcanic plains, rising and falling in slow currents that stretch as far as the eye can see. The spacecraft touches down gently on the dark volcanic ground. For the first time, a human has arrived on Noxara. Stepping out onto the planet's surface, the astronaut immediately becomes the smallest object in a vast alien wilderness. The fog moves constantly here. It flows across the terrain like slow tides across a hidden sea. Sometimes it rises, sometimes it collapses inward, sometimes it simply drifts silently across the ground. The environment is eerily quiet. There is no wind, no birds, no visible life. Only the faint hum of the astronaut's equipment and the slow shifting of fog across volcanic stone. At first, the world seems empty, but then something changes. Far across the fog-covered plain, the mist begins to move in a strange way. At first, it appears to be nothing more than a ripple passing through the clouds, a small pressure wave drifting across the fog ocean. But the ripple grows. The fog lifts upward, forming a massive dome shape rising slowly above the surface. Then, the dome begins to travel. Something enormous is moving beneath the fog. What the astronaut is witnessing may be one of the most extraordinary ecosystems ever discovered. The fog ocean of Noxara hides creatures of unimaginable size. Massive shapes drift beneath the mist like hidden continents slowly crossing the landscape. Occasionally, the fog parts for just a moment, revealing brief glimpses of the giants that inhabit this world. A colossal limb rises above the fog before sinking back beneath it. A massive curved ridge moves through the mist like the armored back of an enormous animal. Towering silhouettes appear on the horizon, only to dissolve again into the drifting fog. These creatures are not aggressive. They do not hunt or attack. They simply move, slowly, quietly, like ancient beings wandering across a silent planet. From a distance, the giants of Noxara resemble mountains, but they are alive. Some appear to stand hundreds of meters tall. Others move beneath the fog like enormous whales swimming through an invisible ocean. The fog itself may be the key to their survival. Scientists believe the dense atmosphere of Noxara may contain minerals and microscopic organic particles suspended in the mist. For the creatures of this planet, the fog may function much like an ocean does on Earth. They move through it, feed within it, and remain hidden beneath its endless waves. Standing on a high volcanic ridge, the astronaut watches the fog ocean below. The mist shifts. A massive curved ridge rises from beneath the clouds, revealing the back of a massive creature traveling beneath the surface. Moments later, the fog collapses inward somewhere else across the plain as another titan lowers itself deeper into the cloud sea. The ground trembles slightly beneath the astronaut's feet, yet the creatures do not seem aware of the visitor observing them. To beings of this size, the astronaut is smaller than a grain of dust. The deeper mystery of Noxara is not only the creatures themselves, but the planet that supports them. Why has life here evolved into such enormous forms? What evolutionary forces shaped these giants beneath an ocean of fog? And how many more of them exist beneath the mist? The astronaut has only glimpsed a handful of silhouettes moving through the fog sea, but the fog stretches across the entire planet. There may be hundreds, perhaps thousands, entire migrating populations hidden beneath the clouds. Even some scientists believe the fog itself may be connected to the creatures that inhabit the planet. The atmosphere rises and falls in strange rhythmic patterns, almost like breathing. A planet and its inhabitants evolving together. A world built around concealment. A hidden ecosystem invisible to the rest of the universe. As the astronaut prepares to leave Noxara, the fog continues its endless motion across the planet's surface. Far on the horizon, a massive silhouette slowly rises above the mist, one final time. A towering giant walking silently across the fog sea. Then it disappears again, swallowed by the endless silver ocean. The mysteries of Noxara remain hidden beneath its fog, waiting for the next explorer brave enough to descend into the mist. This is Noxara, a planet where giants live beneath the clouds, and where the unknown is always waiting beyond the fog.